the Sunbreak Demo still sucks at showing new players why we're so addicted to this series. Okay, if you're a new player and you're playing the demo and you're like, I don't get it, I don't get the hype, I don't know why you guys like Monster Hunter so much. I actually made a video about this the last time we got a demo dropped on us. I'm gonna put a little card up top just so you can go and check it out and hear what I've got to say about that, because everything I said about the demo then is still true. That being said, this is one of the best demos we've ever gotten, and if you know what Monster Hunter already is, if you've already got some experience with the game, then this demo is incredible. And yeah, in this video I'm going to go over each weapon and talk about the new moves we got and how the new mechanics are feeling. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Before we get into the individual weapons, I want to talk a little bit about the universal mechanics, things that every weapon gets. That being the switch skill swap, the new wire bugs, the red and the gold wire bugs that are pickups that you can pick up, a couple of the new endemic life, and the jungle map. Jungle map looks incredible. I love it. It seems smaller but bigger at the same time. I did a jungle map tour already. You guys can check that out also on the channel to get really my feelings in depth about the jungle map. But the endemic life and the switch skill swap, let's talk about it. The red wire bug, I'm really liking the red wire bug. Really gives you a big boost to that that finisher move whenever you're doing a wyvern ride. Really like it. I don't think it boosts the damage of the moves that you do while you're riding, if that makes sense. But when you go for that finisher, the numbers are like really big, like they actually are bigger, and they show you like, yo, you're doing massive damage, oh my god, so that's pretty cool. Didn't really mess with the gold one all that much because it's the demo, so I don't get to keep the parts that drop, so I didn't really care for picking it up, but it's good to have it. Up next, the switch skill swap. This feels pretty good. Very easy to pull off. I thought when they showed us the button prompts for it, the X+A, I thought there'd be a lot of misclicking where you'd accidentally do a Y-bug move instead of swapping, but it doesn't seem that way. I get it. I may have misclicked maybe once or twice trying to go for it, but that's probably skill issue and my fault, not the game's fault, because I can land it pretty consistently now using the ZL plus X plus A combo. But also you can use the action bar to do a switch skill swap, which is a really good addition. You could switch on the dog using the action bar, and then I'd also recommend using the action bar if you're using a ranged weapon. So switch skill swapping on a ranged weapon is a bit more challenging than your regular Blade Master weapons, because the wire bug button switches to R, right? And you're using ZR to shoot and you use ZL to aim. So maybe some claw action has to come back unless you use that action bar. So I think that's why they put it in the action bar as well. So not only can you switch while you're riding your Palamute, you can use it for your gunner weapons, because I found that ZL plus X plus A is not going to work because you use it to aim when your weapon is out, and then but when you put your weapon away, the ZL works again because the wire bug button switches when you take it out. It's a bit weird on gunning weapons, but for Blade Master weapons, chef's kiss. It's incredible. It feels good to do every time, and I get what I need every time I go for it. One last thing I want to bring up about the switch skill swap is the evade that comes with it. So having watched some of the trailers and the events that Capcom has been showing us about the game, the switch skill swap was looking crazy. It was looking like, oh my god, billions of iframes, easy to use, just switch skill swap and jump out the way. No, this thing is way harder to use for evasion purposes than I was led to believe. I don't know how you guys felt about watching some of the trailers, but I was like, oh, this game might still be too easy if you could just switch skill, swap, evade, everything. In this build, right, it may be different upon full release, because I think this demo build is actually older than we think it is. But yeah, so in the actual release it might be different, but some of the trailers and stuff that I saw in the game with the switch skill, swap, evade and stuff and having iframes, it looked like it was going to be easy to pull off. Oh, no, 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 no. This thing, I have almost completely removed the idea of evading moves with the switch skill swap. It is purely a reposition tool for me at this point. So there's that. Now I've heard rumblings about maybe a Lunagaron skill that really helps boost the switch skill swap evade or something. We'll see in the full release, but yeah, if you had concerns that switch skill swap evade was going to be broken because of the iframes, rest assured that's not it. It's not that easy to pull off. So that's about all I want to say about the switch skill swap and everything that comes with it and all the universal mechanics that all the weapons get. Let's start diving into each weapon individually. Cool? So first up is going to be Greatsword. Yeah, we're going to be going down the weapon list in order, except for Hammer. Hammer will be last because that's my main and I got a lot to say about it. So Greatsword, all we got for Greatsword that's new is the strong arm stance move, but in the demo it's called Hysteria for some reason. Whatever. Pretty cool move. You get to counter or block an attack, and then you get to continue charging and then release a level 3 charge after you eat an attack. It's pretty good. Kind of is gonna take some getting used to pull off. You see me pull it off right there, but yeah, it's gonna take some getting used to pulling off. But the switch skill swap really does help the Greatsword a lot because you could do like rage slashes when the monster is moving around, and you got to adjust your positioning because you can rage slash 360 degrees, and then when a monster gets downed or KO'd or in a trap, you can switch skill swap to true charge slash and get the really big meaty numbers while also always carrying Hysteria if you want. So yeah, pretty good. Greatsword feels like Greatsword, big meaty chops. Too bad we didn't get to try out the Surge Slash combo, which is like the quick Greatsword hits, but it is what it is. That's one thing about the demo that is unfortunate, that they didn't give us all of the switch skills, I guess, that they showed us in all of the weapon trailers, which is kind of like, why would you show me something if I can't have it? But that's okay. We'll talk about each of the new moves and what they bring to the table as far as the weapons kit, one by one. So that's it for Greatsword. Still feels like Greatsword. The counter is good. It's not as groundbreaking or uproar inducing as we thought it was upon reveal. So yeah, I like it. It's a good thing that Greatsword has this, because I can feel that the G-rank, Master Rank monsters are going to be moving really quick. So to be able to counter on the fly and then rip out a level 3 charge after a counter, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Oh baby, longsword time, the most popular Blade Master weapon by a country mile. Yeah, longsword is pretty good here in the demo. I am very much underwhelmed by Harvest Moon. I mean, we all thought Harvest Moon was gonna be broken, busted out of its mind, but upon using it, it's got a lot of caveats, man. It's got a lot of caveats. It goes away if you sheath. You can't leave the circle when you put the circle down. It costs 2 wire bugs. And you have to land a counter while you're in the circle in order for you to get the benefits, right? I am not a longsword counter god. I barely play the weapon anymore. When I first got into Monster Hunter way back on the Wii, I too main longsword, and after a while I was just like, you know what, I've had enough longsword for a lifetime. I'm good. So I'm not super good at landing counters. I mean, every once in a while I give me one, but you know, yeah. But the switch skill swap on longsword, for those of you who are not counter gods like me, oh my god, this is a game changer. Like, you can Sakura slash to get your meter up, right? Because doing an entire spirit combo just takes so long, right? The monsters move too quick, especially here in Master Rank. It's gonna be dummy crazy to try and get a whole spirit slash combo off to get your meter up. But now that you can Sakura slash and then, you know, just swap and then do a soaring kick, it's pretty easy to manage that meter now. So yeah, skill swap on longsword is the biggest buff, in my opinion, that it got in the demo, or you know. But like, talking about damage numbers and stuff, I'm not gonna be bringing up damage numbers because they've already told us that the weapon balances and stuff is gonna be different in the main game, and I wholeheartedly believe it. Like I said, I think this demo is a pretty old build. So yeah, that's it for longsword. Feels pretty good. Switch skill swap is a huge deal, and Harvest Moon to me is underwhelming. On to the next weapon. Sword and board, sword and board, sword and shield users. You guys are eating good, man. We got destroyer oil, which I don't know. I didn't really feel the huge difference from destroyer oil, but I didn't play sword and shield a whole lot. There aren't a lot of weapons in this demo that I've played a whole lot, except for maybe like hammer. But that's because that's my main, and I really want to dig in and see and feel what the changes are like. But speaking of hammer, yeah, sword and shield is probably still gonna be the KO king in Sunbreak, because it's got a couple tools that are just really good. I mean, destroyer oil is going to cause a lot of flinching, and if you want to, you know, run that KO style, then, you know, while the monster's always flinching, it's going to be really easy to get those head bonks in so that you can cause the KOs, you know. So there's that, and then it's too bad we didn't get to try any of the other new sword and shield moves, because I think one of them is a wire bug dash with a shield, you know, which is another KO move, and it looks pretty good. I mean, we saw Miss Fiore use it in one of the trailers, which really tipped me off to us having even more moves than was shown. And it was too bad that we didn't get to test the other switch skill that changes the base combo of the SNS. But destroy oil feels good, and switch skill swapping with the sword and shield, it's good. I mean, you kind of have to if you want to use the destroy oil, because it covers over Metsu Shoryugeki, and we're not leaving Metsu Shoryugeki at home. We're not doing that, okay? Like, we're gonna be running the Metsu. But yeah, other than that, sword and shield does feel good. Destroy oil, you know, it works. It works. You're gonna get the bunch of flinches, and when you get those flinches, you're gonna open up your teammates and yourself to do even more damage than was possible before. So yeah, sword and shield users, you guys are eating good. I'm still mad at y'all because you guys are the true KO kings of the Blade Masters, but whatever, we're gonna talk about that another day. That's it for Sword and Shield. Dual blades, feeling good, man, feeling good. The new move that we have access to in the demo, Spiral Slash, might take a bit of getting used to for me. As you can see, I whiffed it right there. But apparently the drill only happens if you hit like a weak point of the monster. So it's really gonna lean on, you know, your know-how of the monster and knowing where to hit on your weak point in order for you to land the sweet spot drill hit, right? And then also in this clip right here, you saw switch skill swap is incredible for dual blades. Okay, you can use it to have access to both feral demon mode and regular demon mode. I like feral demon mode, and plus the attack boost that you get from feral demon mode is something I didn't want to give up. But you can combo piercing bind with spiral slash if you're quick enough with it, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's looking and feeling great. I am excited to play dual blades in Sunbreak, even though sometimes I feel like I'm gonna whiff a lot of spiral slashes. It's feeling good. I'm really liking where the dual blades are at. They got even more fun to play than they already were with spiral slash, and you know, just the playstyle of running around crazy, all hyped up on demon mode. I just wish that they gave us maybe some dash juices in the box that we could take advantage of. But beggars can't be choosers. We wanted to play a little Sunbreak, and we got this. So yeah, really liking the way dual blades feel. And you know, there's even more moves that, you know, we don't have access to and we don't know about. So I mean, dual blades could be looking like a really fun weapon to play, because even just the switch skill swap plus spiral slash, it was already super fun. So yeah, that's it about dual blades. Let's keep it moving. Hunting Horn feels good. Feels good. The new buff for Hunting Horn feels very much like the hammers, but it's kind of different at the same time. Doesn't do as much damage, and it also works a little differently. Like wherever you play the song or hit the monster, the little thing, that's where it explodes. So it does feel more like impact press than the hammer's new buff, where it works every time you connect. It's a little different, but I like it. It feels good. So a lot to say about the Hunting Horn. Switch skill swap, In the demo, I didn't use Beat of Resonance all that much because the horn that they gave us comes with attack up, so I didn't really feel the need to run Beat of Resonance. However, if you're using a hammer that doesn't have attack up, you can run Beat of Resonance and then just swap out and then get your Earthshaker back and play, you know, your Magnificent Trio and get attack up along with 3 other different songs. So I can see the synergy there. I can already feel how that's going to be very useful for the weapon. And then this new song, Sharpness Regeneration, whew, that joint go crazy, boy. That joint go real crazy. And if that's an indication as to what kind of new songs that we're going to be getting in Sunbreak, oh my god, I'm excited. Now, I don't know why I only recorded 1 Hunting Horn clip. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I play Hunting Horn. I'm still really excited to use it in Sunbreak when it drops, but I really hope that there's a Silkbind art or something that they showed us that pertains to the music of Hunting Horn, right? Nothing shown so far really kind of pertains to maybe making the buffs better or more potent by using a Silkbind art or something, or double notes or something. Just, I want something about the Hunting Horn to be about the music. Hell, it's a horn that buffs your teammates, so I want to be, you know, buffing my teammates while still getting the crazy KOs that the Hunting Horn is known for. Other than that though, Hunting Horn feels good to play. It's still Rise Hunting Horn. I still like it. Do I wish there were elements of Old Horn coming back? Yes, but if I don't get it, I won't be too miffed about it. On to the next one. Lance. Okay, not as boring as the trailer would lead you to believe. Yes, Lance is, it's in an okay spot. I like it. Skyward Thrust does a lot more damage when you line it up correct and get as many hits as possible out of it. And it's really seamless. You can just do it and get right back to poking or guarding or doing whatever. It's not like a big wind up where you're stuck in an animation for a long time. And for that, it's perfect, right? So now your options are poke, back hop, right? Or you can poke, skyward thrust, come back down, poke. And by the time you finish poking, you might be able to do another skyward thrust right then and there. You know what I mean? So, and then by the time you rip off the second skyward thrust and poke again, it's almost time to do another one. You know what I mean? So it's looking really good. Skyward thrust does a lot of damage. And yeah, it's looking good. Next, switch skill swapping is gonna help the Lance out a lot. One of my biggest problems with Lance was I actually like Anchor Rage. I actually like, you know, getting the poke in and then having to keep up with the monster all the time. But I also liked Spiral Thrust. Now you can run them both, or you can run Anchor Rage plus Skyward Thrust since they occupy the same slot. You know what I mean? So you can kind of keep those running in tandem. You can always have an Anchor Rage. I bet you can Anchor Rage to a monster, land, Skyward Thrust, land, poke, and then when the monster runs away, you jump back, you jump to it, you know, while you have the Anchor Rage still up and active, so you can jump again and continue the assault on the monster, which is what the Lance is all about. Continuing your assault. Poke, block, nothing bothers me. Oh, you ran away, got the Anchor Rage on deck, you know what I'm saying? So there's that. And then also the counter move for the Lance was as reliable as ever, you know what I'm saying? But in the demo, one thing really miffed me about this demo. Why would you give me Lance and then not give me guard up? Okay, you can't block Astalos' lightsaber with the Lance in the demo because they didn't give you max guard up. Stupid. Stop it. Give me guard up so I can block everything and stick to the monster and turtle up when I need to turtle up like the Lance does. But I think once the game drops and people really get their hands on Lance, they're gonna like the way it feels in their hands, as opposed to the stupid little lame trailer that we got that made the Lance look hella boring. I think Lance is gonna be in a good spot when Sunbreak comes out. I really do. But that's enough about Lance. Moving on. Ooh, boomstick, baby. It's feeling real good in this demo, man. You can block everything. Unlike Lance, right, where I just complained that like they give you a set that doesn't have guard up, but apparently Gun Lance has the guard up I was looking for, and I was guarding and countering everything, as you can see in this little clip right here. But yeah, also Bullet Barrage. This might be a game changer for Gunlance, man. The thing about Gunlance is like, yeah, it's cool, but like you gotta manage your shells and manage your worm stake and manage your wyvern fire and know when you can and can't and all that. But the thing about Bullet Barrage is it recharges and reloads all of that, and you could just bust it at will. All you need is 2 wire bugs and time. Excellent, right? So yeah, and it's a hefty amount of damage. It truly is a bullet barrage. I mean, whew, I love it. I love doing it. It's very satisfying to do, and you know, I mean, it's looking good. It's looking good. One thing I will mention is I don't know how like wide type gun lances are going to be doing with this, because they typically have less ammo, and it feels like the more ammo you have, the more you'll get out of. Oh my god, look at that. The more you'll get out of the bullet barrage, because you have more quote unquote bullets to shoot. But yeah, Gunlance is looking good. They finally got a good move that they need to you know, up the damage and keep up with the other weapons as far as damage goes, because you can bullet barrage at any time. All you need to know are the monster's openings really well, so that, you know, and like looking at your wyvern fire gauge, you're like, okay, it's not gonna take that long to cool it to do the thing, you know what I mean? So yeah, bullet barrage is looking real nice. The only thing that concerns me about Gunlance is it might become a one-trick pony similar to my main, which is the hammer, right? In base rise, it was impact crater factory. Gunlance might become bullet barrage factory. So like you know, artillery, wirebug whisperer may become like mandatory if you're going to be bullet barraging, if you know bullet barrage is going to be the main source of your damage output. But yeah, bullet barrage, the actual attack feels really good, like where it's at. And you know, Gunlance has other issues such as like shelling scaling. Please let shelling scale with damage. But other than that, man, I'm really liking the way Gunlance feels, and I'm happy for my Gunlancers out there. Y'all got a good new toy, and yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys pull off in Sunbreak. On to the next weapon. Next up is the swag axe, and oh boy, is it swaggy here in this demo. The new move, that counter, oh, it's heat, man. That counter is heat. Does a bit more damage and a bit more hits than I expected, but the pros and cons versus using it and not using it are not as risk reward as I thought, right? Like having the sword meter get drained as you hold the counter is not all that bad. There is kind of a bit of a wind up to it, so you kind of got to get used to that. It's not like instantaneous push the button, you got it. And then you also have to time when to like let loose the attack, if that makes sense, right? Because if you do it too early, you fail the counter, you don't get it, you know? So it's also has a bit of a different timing, so to speak, than most other counters, which is okay, you know, which is okay. But when you get it and when you feeling it, oh buddy, whew, this counter is it's crazy. So this has great synergy with the switch charger skill, right? Because you do it and you spend up all your sword gauge, and then you just do the switch charger skill a couple times, and bow, you got instant sword gauge right back, you know? And then this will, like I anticipated, work really well with power files. I think power files will enter the meta again, having, you know, used this counter and knowing how easy it is to pull off, and you can pull it off like at will. There's a clip in here that's coming up soon where I wake up in Astelos with a barrel bomb and I still got my instant sword mode. So yeah, in base rise, power files were not used that much because they took too long to charge up and you didn't have access to you know, ZSD and having, you know, the file mode you know, unlocked. But with this new move, oh man, sword mode upkeep might go up to 100, man. Like we might be able to just always have sword mode on, you know, depending on how skilled you are at using this counter. So yeah, that counter is incredible, feels incredible to use, does a decent amount of damage, but like I said, the damage numbers here are you know, temporary, you know, they're just filler, but it feels good to use. And check it out. Oh, that is by far one of my favorite wake ups in the game now. Like, bro, I cannot wait to be using the swags, and oh, the monsters sleep. Oh, I'm about to wake them up with this bad boy. But yeah, switch axe is switch axe, and rise switch axe is a work of art, as we already know. So yeah, plus this counter, ooh, switch axe is firmly planted as one of my most hyped to use. So yeah, that's enough about switch axe. On to the next weapon. And now for the other Mighty Morphin weapon, we got Charge Blade. Now in the demo, Charge Blade ain't feeling too hot, but I do have faith that it's going to be feeling way better in the main game, because I'll actually be able to control what skills I bring to the battle, right? So yeah, but Charge Blade is looking like it's going to be a big brain weapon, because there's a lot to be thinking about as you use Charge Blade in this game, because like the switch skill swap, like you can carry over the charged sword and the charged axe mode in between each other, but like you have to have the right like mode out at the right time as you switch. So yeah, charge spinning slash mode is a lot easier to maintain, but you gotta be big brain about it. You gotta be big brain about it, because it still goes away when you sheath your weapon. But you know, in combination with ready stance, it does feel good. It does feel good to just, you know, pizza cutter, you know, spinning your waves, just spin, ready stance, spin, ready stance, spin, ready stance. So you could pretty much, you know, just do that ad nauseum as much as you want with ready stance, and use it as a, you know, reposition tool, a reset, or a block, right? You get to block with, you know, axe mode out with ready stance, which is already a big deal. Because the problem with charge spinning slash mode was like you had no defensive options, because if you sheathed the weapon or morphed back into you know, sword and shield mode, the charge went away, right? But in this one, you can use skill swap to swap over back to sword mode, and then your sword will stay charged, and then you can swap back after you morph. It's a lot going on. It's gonna be a really deep weapon, and I can't wait to see what dedicated Charge Blade mains accomplish in Sunbreak. I'm really liking the changes, and I can't wait to like tailor make my own armor set or my own build toward one or the other playstyle, or even a mixture of both, because that's my biggest problem with the demo Charge Blade, is that I'm not in control of the skills that I brought here. So yeah, I have faith that it's going to be good in the main game, and yeah, but in the demo doesn't feel too hot, just because I can't control exactly how the weapon controls with the armor skills available to me. But that is enough about the Charge Blade. On to the next weapon. And now to talk about the other new weapon from the 4th gen, Bug Stick, baby. And oh my goodness gracious, let me tell you, it feels incredible to play in this demo. So yeah, the new move, Awaken Kinsect Yeet, man, is good. It's real good, and like it actually, Insect Glaive is the only weapon that kind of got 2 new moves, because like Powder Vortex kind of came with it too. So whenever you do the Kinsect Yeet in this game, you leave a bunch of powder all over the place, and if you attack the powder, or like if you mark the monster and use like ZR plus X plus A, you can get the powder to gather on the monster and explode at will, which I didn't test out. I didn't test out the Kinsect gather magic explosion, but I did hit it to have it pop, and it did a decent amount of damage. And yeah, it's stupid doo-doo dummy damage, by the way. Like, I don't think it's gonna be this strong in the main game. I can already kind of feel the salt from, you know, people like, yeah, I beat Malzeno in the demo, and people are like, okay, but did you use the Insect Glaive powder method? Because I saw a video, boy, they melted Malzeno in like 2 minutes with just the powders, and I was like, golly, that joint stupid strong in this game. But yeah, switch skill swapping with the Insect Glaive also feels incredible, because the new move takes the spot of Diving Wyvern, right? So what you can do, and what I did do while I was hunting, was I would have my red scroll on. I would do my my 3, you know, aerial vaults to power up my Diving Wyvern, land the Diving Wyvern, and then upon landing, immediately switch and do my Awaken Kinsect, which, bro, a lot of damage, feels good, and then you restart the whole process all over again. You know, gather up your extracts, you know, power up your glaive, and then get it cracking all over again, and it feels so good to use. So yeah, switch skill swapping is gonna be a big deal, and yeah, that new Kinsect powder vortex stuff is looking so good, and I can't wait to see how it interacts with the many different type of Kinsects that we have in the game. So yeah, Insect Glaive feels really freaking good to play in the demo, and I think of all of my Ostelos hunting, the Insect Glaive might have been the easiest run, and it was pretty much just pick up and play and get to destroying. It was good. It's good, man. So yeah, can't wait to see what dedicated Insect Glaive users pull off in Sunbreak when it comes out with the new moves at their disposal. I'm excited to play with it, myself. So yeah, that's gonna be about it about the Insect Glaive. Let's keep it moving. And now time for the ranged weapons, starting off with the light bowgun, which feels really freaking good, They actually gave us a really good light bowgun for the demo, right? Because we're facing Ostelos, so they gave us a bowgun that has rapid freeze ammo. But the new move, the Wyvern counter, oh my lord, this is a game changer. It's super simple, super easy to use, very easy to land the counters with it. I tried to use it to neutralize one of like the Ostelos electro balls, but it didn't work the way I thought it would work based on the description. We'll see if it changes in the main game. But yeah, countering through damn near everything Ostelos throws at me with that Wyvern counter. Oh man, bro, it feels incredible, super easy to pull off. Light bowgun's never gonna get hit again. Like, if you really have like a good handle on it and you can manage your Y bugs well, you'll never get hit again. And you'll just rapid pew 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 your way to victory. Like it feels incredible. It's super easy to use. You get way more mounts than you did before, because like your other options were like fanning vault to get like some wyvern mount damage, or what was the other thing where like you jump and you shoot. Like nah, you don't want to be doing none of that. But this counter right here, oh man, you just do it and you just end up scot-free. It's easy to use, man. I freaking love it. And I might play a lot more gunner than I have in the past because of how this feels, man. So yeah, light bowgun feels really good, and I'm excited to play it, actually. You know what I mean? Like, look at this. It's incredible. You just use the wyvern counter whenever. Greatness. But yeah, that is enough about the light bowgun. I actually feel really good about it. Moving on to the next weapon. Oh, up next, the big old fat blicky heavy bowgun. And I gotta say, I was worried about playing heavy bowgun in the demo because I wasn't sure if they were gonna give us a evade extender. You guys know how much I like evade extender paired with heavy bowgun, but oh my god, I didn't actually need it. Would you look at that? So yeah, using setting sun feels good with pierce ammo. And in the demo, they actually gave us what is it, ice pierce ammo, which does work through the setting sun. Fantastic. I could feel the heavy bowgun pushing light bowgun aside, saying nah, you ain't the Pierce King no more. That's me, baby. So yeah, feels really good. And but prior to making my heavy bowgun video, with the builds for heading into Sunbreak, I didn't have that much heavy bowgun experience in Rise. But looking at this now and playing this, oh, this feels incredible. You could just counter whatever. The counter shots feel good. Setting sun feels good. Yeah, I'm liking the way it feels. I mean, I even got the tackle down. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, feels good. Setting sun is good. There's not much else to say about it. I mean, you lay it down, you shoot through it. Doesn't take too long to set up, and it's up for quite a while, and it's pretty easy to use and maneuver around, even in the middle of combat, right? I mean, which you'll see in this clip. Look at this. It kind of feels like using a splash wall with a 52 gallon Splatoon. You know what I'm saying? But if only if you play Splatoon, you get that. You'll get that reference. But hey, heavy bowgun feels pretty good. Feels way better than I thought it would, even without evade extender. So I imagine with evade extender and building for the correct elemental type pierce for whatever weapon you're fighting or whatever monster you're fighting against. Oh yeah, this is gonna be feeling extra good, and I'm excited to actually play it, man. So yeah, that's all I've got to say about the heavy bowgun. Felt really good to play, despite not having the evade extender, which I covet so much. On to the next weapon. And the final ranged weapon we will talk about today is the bow, which I'm feeling kind of mixed about its new move, right? I'm loving the new moves for the other two, right? But Butcher's Bind, oh man, this feels kind of underwhelming. I don't know if it's skill issue. I'm not really using it correct, but Butcher's Bind, does feel quite underwhelming. Even though in the beginning, like I didn't really understand. Oh man, I hit the wrong button. I didn't really understand like how to like properly use it. But like you can push the Silk Bind button for Butcher's Bind, hold it down and charge it and run around like a regular charge shot. Like you can do that, and I didn't know that at first. But even after that, I mean, I did not manage to get a tail cut on Ostelos. even after figuring out how Butcher's Bind works. And like Butcher's Bind, it feels kind of like using the shield bash in 3rd gen, right? In Try and 3U, like, yeah, you could shield bash a monster to a KO with it with an SNS. It's kind of memey. It's kind of, oh, I did it, you know. But mostly, it's gonna be used for like assisting your teammates in doing something like that, right? Like if you get a call out that says, yo, let's go for the tail, and you know you start using Butcher's Bind on the tail to help with the tail cut in general. That's something I could see happening. But Butcher's Bind to me just feels very underwhelming. But other than that, I mean, it's more bow. You know, it's more bow. So I mean, bow I think is still gonna be really strong. But I think they're gonna turn it down just a little bit, because I've watched the Femto video talking about like, yo, bow is kind of messed up and bugged, and that's why it's so strong. And I think they're going to use this as the opportunity to bring it back down to earth where it needs to be. So yeah, I like it. I like using bow in general, but Butcher's Bind just left me kind of underwhelmed. Here's hoping that the other moves are good. And last but most certainly not least, my main weapon, the hammer. Okay, hammer. Hammer is feeling good. The buff feels incredible. It does feel different from Hunting Horn's buff, where Hunting Horn's buff, it works on the entire move set, but Hammer's buff only works on charge moves, right? So only moves that have a charge. So it works on Impact Crater, Charge Spinning Bludgeon, Dash Breaker. It works on all of those moves. And then yeah, so it works on all those moves, and the amount of damage you get, extra damage you get, is way more significant than that of the Hunting Horn. So even though like in concept the moves are very similar, ooh, more hits on top of your moves, they work kind of differently and feel differently. Also, the Hammer's buff lasts way longer than the Hunting Horn's buff does. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, Hammer is feeling good. It's feeling good. It got other changes aside from just the new move, mostly in the courage mode, mostly in charge switch courage. They kind of listened to something I had to say. You know, so after a water strike, you could do a golf swing, right? And after a golf swing in courage mode, you can skip the 1, 2, and 3 of the so quote unquote valor charge strikes, right? So you can go straight to max level after a golf swing, which is incredible, and it pairs really well with water strike. It gives me a bigger incentive to actually use water strike, aside from just, oh, I avoided the damage. And you know, it gives more incentive to do that golf swing, right? Because after the golf swing, you get straight to max charge. You don't have to do charge 1, charge again, charge 2, charge again, and then wait for charge 3 to get to max. Like, you immediately get to max charge after 3, and that works after any golf swing. So you can do another combo route that I have been trying and implementing a little bit in playing Hammer in the demo is you walk up to the monster, hit X, you know, you do your 3-hit combo where you pow, pow, golf swing, and then you immediately charge, and you're at max charge level 3. And from there, you can rip an Impact Crater, right? Which, if you have the buff still on, you're gonna get the extra hits too, so that's pretty good. But the thing about that is, it still kind of feels like Hammer is Impact Crater machine, right? Which was my biggest issue with playing Hammer in Base Rise, is that that's all you did. Like, whoever got the most Impact Craters out was the person who did the best damage with Hammer, you know? And I want that to kind of change. For example, I didn't use the Big Bang combo a single time playing the demo. Why? Because I didn't feel it was worth it. It's not a charge move, so it doesn't benefit from the new buff that we got. And it also does less damage than a Big Bang, I mean not Big Bang, than an Impact Crater, because Impact Crater gets the bonus hits from the new buff. So why even have Big Bang combo anymore? You know what I mean? Like, it's just not as good as Impact Crater, and that's my biggest issue. I want other parts of the moveset to be buffed, and oh my god, look at this stupid Impact Crater miss. I want other aspects of the Hammer's moveset to be buffed. That way it's worth doing, instead of just only Impact Craters, right? Like, I want other moves to be good. Like, you know, Silkbind Spinning Bludgeon got a big boon because it works well with the new buff. So, like, you know, we're moving on the right track, and then we're also more rewarded for water striking in courage mode, at least. I wish it worked for strength mode too, but whatever. They chose not to for whatever reason. Hopefully it comes to strength mode 2 in the full game, where if I land a water strike, you know, you get straight to golf swing, and after golf swing, when you pull back that hammer, you're already at max charge. I want max charge to be easily accessible, because that's our big move, that's our thing, right? That's what's gonna get you the KOs, and then that on top of the buff, I mean, it's real good. It's real good. But you know, Hammer's moving in the right direction. They are listening, I think. I mean, maybe turn down the impact crater and turn up the rest of the moveset, and I think I'll really like some of the changes that came to Hammer. And yeah, so those are my thoughts on my beloved Hammer. And you know, I saved it for last because it's my main. I'm gonna talk about it the longest. I'm not even looking at the timer. For the other weapons, I try to keep it around 2 minutes long, but hey, we're gonna spend the time on the Hammer, baby, because I love it so much. I love my bonk stick and getting KOs on monsters. So yeah, that's all for the Hammer. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Sunbreak demo, which is one of the better demos we've ever gotten, even though it still sucks for recruiting newer players or players who've never played Monster Hunter into the franchise, right? Because it's a lot going on, and you know, they may have trouble, you know, with some of the higher level hunts, especially like, you know, Tetranodon. Even though, like, you know, for us who've played the game and know Tetranodon, we probably busted them up real easy. But if you've never even touched a Monster Hunter game before, you're gonna get to Tetranodon and probably get crushed and be like, yo, this was intermediate? I don't even want to look at expert. And then Malzeno was there, like, just extra dummy strong for no reason. So you know, that's just how they do it. But yeah, it's still one of the better demos we've ever gotten, because you do get to make choices about what weapons you bring to the hunt. I mean, not weapons, what moves you bring to the hunt. And yeah, so be sure to subscribe if you like this kind of content. Give me a like if you did like it, and comment down below, how are you guys feeling about your weapons that we've used in the demo so far? Do you like it? Do you hate the changes? Let me know in the comments down below. I promise to respond to each and every comment that hits this video. And as always, people, happy hunting. Peace.